All right, IM1 classes. Today we're moving on to our new unit. We are talking about identifying transformations. Transformation is when you take a shape. In geometry, we're just going to be looking at specifically on a coordinate grid, and you move that shape around the coordinate grid in some way. Today we're going to learn about 4 transformations that we're doing: translations, rotations, reflections, and dilations. On Google Classroom, there's going to be I'm going to link to some other YouTube videos that have some nice animations. That's beyond my skill. So I recommend watching those so you get a better understanding of how the translations work. It's just nice to see them actually physically move with the shape. So I recommend watching those videos after we're done here going through this. But like I said, there's 4 transformations we're going to go through. The first one is a translation, which is it's also called a shift or a slide. And all it does is move the shape, just slides it around without flipping it or rotating it. So here's an example of a translation. It's the black shape moving to the red shape. So you see these little tick marks there. That's E prime, F prime, D prime. That's to notate that is the new shape. So we start at triangle FED. It's moving to triangle F prime, E prime, D prime. And we can see it just moves over and then down. And each shape moves the same distance. So it goes over 6, down 2. So D would go over 6, down 2. And then it's getting a little messy, but F does the same thing. The shapes each move the same distance. I'm actually going to clean this up so we can see. I'm going to do it like we would do the slope. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it goes down 2. And each point from the black triangle moves the same distance to the red triangle. So over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then down 1, 2. That's supposed to be green. And then D, last one, goes over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then down 2. So you can see it just moves everything over and down. So that's a slide or a shift or a translation is the actual geometric term. Next one we're talking about is a reflection. It's just the shape is getting flipped over. We're just going to be dealing with an axis, an X or Y axis. It just gets flipped over a fixed line. So you can see here, D gets flipped. This is over the X axis. It goes all the way over down to here. How you figure this out, the reflection. So E is 1, 2 away from the X axis. E prime then is 1, 2 away from the X axis. And it does that with each point. So F, you can see the same thing. So F is 1, 2. So to get to F prime, you go 1, 2 in the next direction. So there's the reflection. The rotation. This is typically the one that kids have the hardest time identifying, but a rotation just rotates the shape around a fixed point. The rotation, we're just going to be looking at rotations that are rotated around the origin, 0, 0. So this one, as you can see, is being rotated clockwise. So each point is getting moved clockwise 90 degrees. This one is counterclockwise 90 degrees. So you can see here, if we track the X, it's getting rotated counterclockwise 90 degrees. And then this was rotated, doesn't matter clockwise or counterclockwise, because it's 180 degrees. So it's getting rotated, each point is rotated 180 degrees. And the last one we need to talk about is a dilation. A dilation is you're either stretching the figure out or shrinking it down around a certain point. We're just going to be dealing with ones that are stretched or shrunk around the origin. All right, so this is a stretch. So you can see the black shape is the original one. It gets stretched out to the red shape, and then, or there can be a shrink. So the black shape is the original. It gets shrunk down to the red shape. All right. With the stretch and shrink, notice that it's a proportional stretch or shrink. So basically what that means is our triangles here are keeping the same general shape. The sides are just getting longer. Same here. Same general shape. It's just longer sides. All right. So those are the 4 transformations you deal with. Let's look at some examples from the assignment in Edge Elastic. So here, determine the type of transformation. Just try to look at it carefully. You can see from the black to the blue, it's going over and then down. This is a translation or a shift. Next one. The shape is getting flipped over. The y-axis, that is a reflection. Number 3, this shape is getting rotated. We can see it's getting rotated all the way around the point of origin. It is rotation. This one's probably the easiest to identify. This is a dilation. So there's actually this one's shrinking. It's the black shape is the original. It's going down the blue shape. That is a dilation. All right, let's look at another one. So here, some kids might think it is a shift looking at it, but if you look for the shift, not all the points line up. This is actually going to be a rotation. So if we start here, this is getting rotated 180 degrees about the origin. And then last one, another dilation. This one is stretching out. All right, that's all I have for you. Make sure you guys finish up the assignment on Edge Elastic. Email me with any questions. Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.